Tiger Woods is successfully out of surgery after a scary accident yesterday morning around 7:18 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. By the time of 7:28, the fire department was there with not the jaws of life as originally reported, actually a pry bar which is nicknamed Hell in a Tube or something like that. The fire chief Osby and the sheriff gave a full press conference yesterday about the scene and what they did. They said they investigated. They didn't seem there was any intoxication, which was the media's first 10 questions, basically, because a lot of people's minds kind of went into a place yesterday when seeing this happen where there seemed to be no skid marks. The accident seemed to be rather wild. He had a car incident in the past that we just watched a documentary on HBO about. So I think a lot of people maybe feared for the absolute worst, not only personally, but physically for Tiger as they saw the accident and what happened. Yesterday during that press conference, some things got cleared up. I guess we learned more and more that he was in a rush. He potentially had a golf tutor session happening with Drew Brees and Justin Herbert with his like duties with the Genesis Invitational and Golf Digest and his sponsors and everything like that. He suffered a shattered ankle and had 2 leg fractures. Out of that press conference yesterday, we learned, by the way the media was asking questions about it. Hey, man, listen, geez. Now, the sheriff, unbelievable, spoke English and Spanish yesterday, was answering questions in both, had a very cool, calm sense about him. The fire chief, Osby, I believe is his name, incredibly cool guy. Now, you got to remember, firefighters and police, 2 very different people, okay? Firefighters normally beloved by everybody because they're always there to save things, okay? Yeah, we're here to save building, people, cats, whatever. Cops not always on the positive side. Sometimes some bad shit happens with the cops and what they're being on. So firefighters normally, like, I have an uncle that's just retired as a fire chief in Pittsburgh. Congrats on a hell of a run. Uncle Owen, my cousin Owen is a firefighter. So, like, I understand the way they handled that media yesterday was beautiful. Okay, but it's Tiger fucking Woods in a massive situation out of nowhere. So the questions that the media were asking the chief and the sheriff were, I mean, you were watching these media people and why they go to school, the way they frame their questions and set up their questions. And this sheriff, this fire chief, and they even had the deputy that was the first on the scene answer some questions, handled it beautifully, but they did give up information that they probably weren't supposed to because the way the media were kind of phrasing these questions. For instance, I don't remember if it was the sheriff or the first deputy on the scene. I believe it was the first deputy on the scene who he said that he got there because a neighbor called 911 because 50 feet or 20 feet away from where he crashed, there is actually houses about, you know, up on an awning that would have heard this entire thing. So he's the first to respond. He says, sir, what is your name? He says, Tiger. And he said, I immediately was like, oh, Tiger, that's Tiger Woods right there. Oh, my God. Asked him some questions if he knew where he was and everything like that. He was the one, by the way, that relayed the message that he did not, to the sheriff and everybody else, that he did not believe there was any impairment from talking to him. There was no smell of anything. It did not seem like he was completely out of it. He was lucid and something else in this whole thing. But the way this media lady asked this question, I mean, whew, a piece of art. There were reports that, because they asked, what did he say, how the conversation go? And they were like, well, we can't talk about that right now. And was there anything, like, we're doing the investigation. So they were answering that it was Tiger. They took him to the hospital. They did not use the jaws of life and everything like that. I mean, they're trying to give away no other information because there's a full investigation going on. Anything they say right now could potentially fuck them over in the future. But the media's job is to get information out wherever the way this lady framed this question, she goes, there was a report that Tiger Woods stood and walked out of his car. Is that true or not true? It's like, that was never reported. I don't what. But she put deputy in a pretzel where he had to address the question that was. He goes, that was not true. He was not able to walk or whatever. So then everybody was like, oh my God, is Tiger Woods potentially going to be paralyzed? Is he going to have to get a leg amputated? You look at the car, the thing was fucking just, the front end was completely gone. He sawed down an 8-inch wide tree, they said, with his car, hit a median, jumped off of that, hit a curb, hit a tree, sawed through the tree, hit a pole, spun down there, and ended up down in this ravine or whatever, and the whole thing. So whenever these answers are coming out, and he's like, the first thing was he had to get surgery surgery on a severe leg injury. Then it came out when numerous more questions were asked in a thoughtful way. He was like, both legs actually had severe injuries. It's like, okay, so now both legs are severe. He wasn't able to walk. They had to extricate him from the vehicle is what they said. It's like, is Tiger Woods potentially never going to be able to walk again? This morning we're getting up there. Last night we got updates. Shattered ankle, severe injuries to both legs, successful surgery. I guess he has something coming up with his back. I am someone that believes he's going to win another fucking golf tournament after this entire thing. And it's going to be an amazing, amazing story. I woke up this morning just as more information continues to be, I tweeted that Tiger information is rolling out right now. And the internet was like, that's a terrible way to phrase it. I was like, I did not fucking mean it. I meant like, come on. So I actually deleted that tweet because I didn't want people to think that I was being clever. I was not being clever. I was just talking about the information. As more and more rolls out here, feels like Tiger's probably going to golf again. If I had to guess, he's probably going to win again. And I hope that this never happens again. Happy to hear he's okay. Everybody's worst nightmares, from what we've been told thus far, are not true. So big shout out to Eldrick Tiger Woods. Happy you're going to be all right. Yeah. I mean, you scared the shit out of us, bub. You're one of our goats, pal. Hey, you're one of the best that we've ever seen in the sports world. Can't be losing you.